The house on Blackwood Lane didn't look haunted, it looked exhausted. Its windows were clouded like cataracts, and the vinyl siding peeled away in strips like dead skin. Elias bought it because the price was impossibly low, and as a freelance editor, he craved the silence of the countryside. But the house wasn't silent, it hummed. It started on the third night. It was a low-frequency vibration, less of a sound and more of a physical pressure against his eardrums. At first, Elias blamed the ancient plumbing. He spent the afternoon tightening valves and bleeding the radiators, but the sound persisted. It felt as though the house was holding its breath, the walls vibrating with the effort of keeping a secret. By the second week, the hum began to change. It developed a rhythm, a slow, wet thrumming that matched the pace of a resting heart. Elias found himself pressing his ear against the floral wallpaper of the hallway. He could feel it there, a faint rhythmic thump-squelch, thump-squelch. He pulled back, his skin crawling. The wallpaper felt warm. Not the ambient warmth of a heated room, but the sticky, radiating heat of a fever. That night, he dreamt of the drywall breathing. He woke at 3 a.m. to a sound like a heavy wet towel being dragged across floorboards. He sat up, his breath hitching in his throat. The hum was louder now, a mechanical drone that made the water in his bedside glass ripple in perfect concentric circles. He grabbed a flashlight and went to the basement. If the source was mechanical, it would be there. The air in the cellar was thick and smelled of copper and old yeast. He panned the light across the stone foundation. Nothing seemed out of place until the beam hit the main support beam. A dark, viscous fluid was weeping from a hairline crack in the wood. It wasn't oil. It was dark crimson, thick and iron-scented. Then the hum stopped. The silence that followed was worse. It was heavy, suffocating, and absolute. Elias stood frozen in the dark. From the floorboards directly above him, he heard a sound that made his stomach turn. A soft, rhythmic scratching. It sounded like fingernails or claws, trying to find a seam in the wood. "Who's there?" he croaked. The scratching stopped. Then, a voice drifted down through the vents. It wasn't a voice he recognized, yet it sounded exactly like his own. "It's so tight in here, Elias," the voice whispered, wet and gargled. "There's no room to stretch. Move closer to the wall, give us more space." Elias backed away, but his heel caught on a loose stone. He fell, his hand slapping against the basement wall. The surface didn't feel like cold stone. It felt soft. It felt like muscle. The entire house gave a sudden, violent shudder. The walls began to contract, the ceiling dipping lower. The house wasn't a structure of wood and nails. It was a digestive tract, a massive dormant organism that had finally decided it was time to eat. He scrambled for the stairs, but the wooden slats had turned soft and gummy, pinning his feet like quicksand. As the hum returned, louder, hungrier, and vibrating with a terrible joy, Elias realized why the price had been so low. The house didn't need a tenant. It needed a heartbeat to replace its own.